Hello guys, welcome to another video of Databricks. In this we will be discussing Databricks CI/CD with Databricks asset bundles. If you are still using manual deployments inside your Azure Databricks or any Databricks environment, if you are still going directly in your Databricks and creating the notebooks, creating the queries, this is the video for you. In this video, we are going to create CI/CD pipeline for Databricks from scratch, and I will show you how you can deploy all your notebooks, all your queries directly from the Azure repository, which we have configured here using the CI/CD pipelines, which I will be creating it here in the Azure DevOps. In this process, I will be creating Azure service connection so that our Databricks pipeline will be able to reach to Databricks environment, or this pipeline will be able to connect to the Databricks environment to deploy our resources. Before that, we should have one Databricks created. So make sure you have created this Databricks environment if you are doing it for demo, and or if you have this already, then that is fine. Apart from that, we should also have one app registration, or you can say service principal, in Microsoft Azure to create here directly in the Databricks. And also using this service principal, we'll be creating the service connection, this Azure connection in our Azure DevOps. Okay. So here we have the code. Let me show you quickly the VS Code. This is the repository. We have Databricks ADB. I can show you this here directly in the portal as well. And this is the main thing. Let me quickly brief you about this pipeline. Let me go to the VS Code. This is the pipeline Azure pipelines.yaml. This is the main pipeline which we'll be calling from the ADO pipeline. Here we have all the things defined already, like trigger variables. If you have simple things, you can define it here, or you can refer my previous videos for creating basic YAML pipelines if you have no idea about it. Okay. Here in stages we have multiple stages. One stage we have created to validate the bundle which we have created here. I will explain you what is bundle. Okay. And apart from that, we have another stage where we are deploying it. In this job, you can see we are deploying the bundle, and after that we are running that workflow which are which will be created after the deployment. Okay. So generally we should have these many files required. You should have one Azure pipelines.yaml file which is necessary to run your pipeline, to create your pipeline, and internally this YAML pipeline will reach to this databricks.yaml pipeline. If you are calling this all the things like bundle validate inside your root directory, automatically these commands will look for this databricks.yaml file. Here you will be specifying all the properties related to your Databricks environment and all the resources which you want to include, and all the workspaces, all the targets, like if you have multiple targets like how I have defined it here: dev, QA, UAT, and prod. Like this, you can have multiple targets. If you have suppose 4 environments and you want to deploy this same set of resources, same set of notebooks, queries in 4 environments, you can configure like this. And later we will be calling it directly from the Azure pipelines. Okay. Here you in this databricks.yaml file, you can include multiple bundles. Like here I have included this all the folders, all the YAML file, whatever we have inside this resources folder. Okay, now let's go to the resources folder, and let's see one YAML file which we have here. So here you can define all the properties about the notebook, all the jobs. I have only one job. This is the job which will be created inside your Databricks, and whatever you will be configuring here, all will be deployed and all will be running when we run this workflow in our Azure pipelines.yaml. Okay, so these three files are important. You should have one databricks.yaml file. You should have one bundle.yaml file, at least one bundle.yaml file to run your job. This is just a basic example and not complex. I can show some complex examples as well in my future videos, but let me show you the basics first. Okay, and in bundle.yaml, you can see we have defined the jobs. This is the job name, notebook job. This is the email notification, and all the tasks are or all the tasks we can define here. That can be either notebook task, or you can run the queries and all from here. Like you can see, we have added one notebook task here, and using this notebook task, we are calling this notebook dot this file. Okay, and whenever this job will be created, this job will be running this notebook in a workflow, and one workflow will be created in our Databricks, and this notebook will be running along with all the properties whatever will be providing it here. Like we are providing the compute cluster as this one. You can run this as serverless as well, but I have added the compute cluster, and we have the cluster information here inside this job cluster. Okay, if you need more details about it, like what are the properties we get here inside the job cluster, what other attributes we get in the notebook task, query task, you can always refer the Databricks documentation. Okay, so this is the job cluster being created, and the same compute cluster we are using to run our notebook task. Okay, this is the bundle, the YAML pipeline, all the resources will be configured here. Whatever you are configuring, any notebook, any query, everything should be configured here. Okay, inside this job. And this bundle will be called from this databricks.yaml file. You can include all the things here. If you have any other YAML file, you can just add it and include something like this. But I have added all the files inside this resources folder. So if you add multiple YAML file inside this resources, this will consider all the files. Okay, and this is the path which we have given to deploy our resources. So if you are not giving this path, if you are not adding this path, then this bundle will be deployed particularly for that user. Suppose I am running with my user account, this will be deployed in that. So the best practice is like that only. You should be deploying for that particular user, but just to show you, I mean, directly how we can deploy with Databricks asset bundle, I am using this shared path. So all the resources which we are deploying using this pipeline will be deployed inside the shared folder, the bundle name and bundle target. Okay, I will show you once these are deployed. And the main thing here are the targets, where your resources will be deployed, what will be the Databricks environments. So here we have four environments: Dev, QA, UAT, and prod. So right now I'll be deploying in one of the environment, that is Dev. Okay, and this is the default. By default this will be deployed, and this is the main thing, which is a workspace name. So I have provided the workspace host. I have taken it from here. If you go to your Databricks environment, open this Databricks service, you will be able to find this URL. So just copy this URL and paste it here inside your host. I have copied it already and pasted it here. Once this file is done and everything is ready, you should be calling, or you don't need to call basically. You just need to define this Azure pipelines.yaml, and those files will be automatically called from here. If you see closely in this stage, we are validating the bundle. To validate, first we are just downloading Databricks CLI. We are using this URL to download the Databricks CLI in our agent machine. If you are not downloading it, then your task, basically this Databricks bundle validate task, which is the Databricks CLI command, basically you can say, will fail. So make sure you are running this command in your agent machine or in your pipeline before this, to download the Databricks CLI and install it. So this will download and install Databricks CLI, and after that, I am using Azure CLI command or Azure CLI task. Here I have provided the service connection, which I will show you, uh, which we have created here. I will show you how you can create it. This is nothing but a general service connection which we create for Microsoft Azure. Okay, so this is the service connection. Using this, our Azure pipelines will authenticate with the Microsoft Azure and Databricks. Okay, and in line script, I am running it Databricks bundle validate, and I am passing the environment from the pipeline. Suppose I have provided the source branch name. I will be running it from main branch, and I am supplying this environment as dev. So once you provide it Databricks bundle validate -t, and this value will be replaced by dev. So it will check in Databricks YAML pipeline and it will pick the dev target. So it will be deploying inside this Databricks environment. If I supply it QA from here, it will go ahead and deploy in the QA environment. Same is the case with UAT and prod as well. If we supply the prod as environment from this YAML pipeline, this bundle or this resources will be deployed inside the UAT and prod environment. Okay, so till here this will validate your bundle. If you have any syntax errors or if you have any authentication issues, your pipeline is going to fail in this environment or this task itself while validating your bundle. Once everything is validated, this stage will go ahead and deploy your resources or deploy your bundle inside your shared path which we have configured here. So this will deploy all the resources in this shared path. If you are not providing it, it will be deployed inside your user direct. Okay, so here you can see we have all these pre added things like pool condition, which you might already know. So I'm not going deep into that. I'll be just directly checking these commands. So here we are checking this out, checking the repository. Again, we are downloading the Databricks CLI because this task, this is different stage, and this might run into different agent pool. Not agent pool, basically different agents. So if you are not installing it again, this might break or this might not work. After that, we are just running this Databricks bundle deploy command to deploy it. You can invalidate. We just had run Databricks bundle validate to validate the bundle. While deploying, we just ran this Databricks bundle deploy command -t and variable.environment, so that it will deploy our bundle directly in that environment. Suppose we are supplying dev from here, it will go ahead and deploy into the dev Databricks. Same is with other environments as well. If you are supplying UAT, it will go to UAT, QA and Pro. Okay, so once your bundle is validated, deployed, your all the code base will be created basically or deployed inside the Databricks environment. But we'll have to run those as well. Suppose if you are deploying one notebook and you need to run that automatically, you will have to create the workflow job and you will have to run that workflow job directly from the pipeline. So we are running that as well. You can see this task which we have added, we are installing that again, Databricks CLI, and we are running this Databricks CLI command, Databricks bundle run -t, the environment name, and the notebook job which we have created in this bundle.yaml. Okay, I'll show you this. Open this bundle.yaml, and you can see this is the job. This is the workflow which we have created. Notebook -job. So the same job we are running it from here. Okay, so whatever you have configured inside this notebook job, this will run when this task will be running. Okay, so if you are running some query, if you are running some notebook or anything like that in Databricks, uh, all will be created or all will be created inside this notebook -job workflow, and all will be running at once. You can configure all the tasks which you need here in the task uh, option. If you don't need to run the query, if you need to run the notebook, you can configure everything here. Okay, this will the Databricks workflow is nothing but kind of, you can say, the pipeline. So whatever task you will be configuring here, all the tasks will be running inside the Databricks. In those tasks, you can either run notebooks, queries, and etc. Okay, so we have covered the pipeline thing, and internally we are calling, you can see internally we are calling this source folder, this main.py. If you have this notebook, you can see inside this notebook we are calling this folder, and we are just simply running this small command. Okay, so like this you can create multiple notebooks as well. Like this we have multiple notebooks, create table, this one, other things as well. You can run all these notebooks. You can add another task here like this. Suppose I want to run another task, I want to add another task, I can directly add it here. I can add another notebook task and that will be created here. And in that task, maybe I can add different notebooks. Suppose I can add this notebook -dbs, this notebook. So this notebook will also be running. Okay. Now let's go ahead. We just saw all the code. Let's now go ahead and see how we can run the pipeline. So if you open this Azure connection, we have created this Azure connection. Directly from here you can provide your subscription service connection name and create it directly from here. You go to service connections, click on new service connection, Azure resource manager. Here you get multiple things. You can either create the app registration, or if you have the app registration with you, you can directly add it here. You can just provide your secrets and all, subscription ID, subscription name, application ID, tenant ID, service principal key, client secret, and create the service connection from here. I have already done it with this Azure connection, so I'll be using the same. Okay, for this I had to create this app registration, and I have used this application ID and the secret from here. Okay, so once this service connection is created, we are good to create the CI/CD pipeline. Okay, we have this Azure pipelines.yaml already, which we already seen, which we have already developed. We have the service connection, so we are not missing anything, right? Let's now go ahead and create the pipeline. Click on new pipeline, open Azure DevOps repository, search your repository. This is my repository. Let's click on this and select our pipeline. This is my pipeline. Click on continue. Let's verify the pipeline. All things look good. Let's save it. So this pipeline is created. Let me tell you another thing as well. Since we have created this Azure connection, if you just run this pipeline, this will fail because this service connection or service principal which we have created here will not be able to communicate with the Databricks to run CI/CD pipelines or to create anything using Azure pipeline or any pipeline like GitHub Actions or and from anywhere else. We'll have to create the service connection directly in the Databricks portal as well. To create it, go to setting, identity and access, click on service principal, and you'll have to create a service principal here as well, like how we have created here in the ADO. For your ADO pipeline to work, you'll have to create the service principal here as well. Click on add service principal, add new, Microsoft Intra ID managed, provide the same service principal name like Azure connection, which you have created here in the service principal name, and provide the application ID which we have here for this app registration which you have created, or you can say the service principal which you had created. Copy this and paste it here inside the Intra ID application and click on add. So once you click on add, your service principal will be created something like this. Okay, I have this Azure hyphen connection created already. So your service principal will be created something like this. Once this is done, we are good. You can now go ahead and run your pipeline. Let me click on run pipeline and click on run. You can see we have two stages. One stage is to validate the bundle, and another stage is to deploy and run the bundle. We have both the task deploy and run workflow job inside same stage, but we have different job. That's why it's coming like this. Okay, so this validate the bundle task started, and you can see the Databricks CLI is already installed, and now this is validating the bundle. If you have any error, like if you have syntax error inside your bundle, or if you have any permission issues, this Databricks command or Databricks validate command will highlight it here itself while validating the bundle. Suppose you did everything but you didn't create the service principal here in the Databricks, then your pipeline will fail and say like the error will appear something like you do not have permission, or 403 forbidden error. Your Databricks will not allow your CI/CD pipeline to deploy the bundles inside your Databricks without creating the service principal. Okay, it is showing the warning like I already said. This is shared path and we should not be deploying any bundles inside the shared path. Just for the easier and demo purpose, I have deployed it here. You should be deploying directly for that user. Okay, you can see this is our bundle name, this is the target, and this is the workspace, the host name which we had just copied it from the there, and this is the path this will be deploying. We will be checking this path once the deployment is complete. Let's refresh the page and check if deployment is done already or not. Okay, so this is waiting for the approval. Since we have created this pipeline for the first time, this is asking the permission to use the environment. Permission is granted, and let's wait for the deployment. Generally, it takes a few seconds to deploy the bundle, and it will take some time to run the workflow job because we have created the cluster, and generally cluster spin up takes time around, this will take around 3-4 minutes, and to run the workflow it will take around 1 minute. So to run the workflow job it will take around 5 minutes. We'll be seeing that deploy bundle, this will take few seconds. We'll be once this deployment is done, we'll be checking the Databricks port, this Databricks workspace, and we'll be checking the path which we have provided here in the repository. If you open this databricks.yaml, we have provided this shared path. We'll be checking here for our resources if they are deployed or not. If you click on validate bundle, you will be able to see the path as well. So this is the path we should be looking when this deploy bundle is complete. Let me check. Yeah, you can see deploy bundle now is complete, and run workflow job is running. Let's see the workspace. You can see all the bundle files are uploaded in this directory. Let's now go to the directly in there. Open the Databricks. Let's go to the work. Let's refresh this page first. We had done it inside the workspace, inside the shared folder, inside the demo Databricks. You can see inside the dev, and if you open the files, in files we had all the notebooks and all the files deployed. You can see whatever we have inside this repository in the same structure, these are deployed inside the Databricks. You can see bundle.yaml inside the resources. You can see other files like Azure Pipelines, Databricks.yaml inside this, and all the notebooks will also be present here. So if you expand the files, resources, click on resources. Note the resources, we had the bundle inside the source folder. You can see we have all the notebooks which are in the repository deployed here. We have this notebook, and this will be running in the workflow job. So this notebook will be running because we have configured this in the pipeline. So this run workflow job has failed. We are not authorized to create the cluster. Okay, because this is working with the service principal, and our service principal is not the admin. Let me check. Open this workspace. Let's go to setting, identity and access. Copy this service connection and go to the groups. So to create the compute cluster, your service principal should be part of admin group. You can see it's not here. Let me add it here in the admin group, and let's run the pipeline again. rerun failed jobs only. So we added our service principal inside the admin group, and once we added and run this pipeline, you can see the notebook job has started running. We just re-triggered the pipeline, and this you can see notebook hyphen job is running. If I refresh this pipeline, you can see everything. This is the run URL, this is the notebook URL, and this is the job notebook hyphen job which is running. Now what this will do in the backend? In the backend, this will first create the cluster. This will spin up the cluster which we have configured inside this resources bundle.yaml file. Okay, so this is the job cluster which we have configured. So first this is going to create this cluster. Okay, once this is created, then only it will run the notebook. That's why this is taking so much time. It will take around 4 or 5 minutes to spin up the cluster, and then in that cluster this notebook hyphen job is running. If we have if you I mean we can even if you run this inside your serverless compute, this will complete in few seconds, because that will always be running, and your pipeline or your resource or your bundle will not be creating the cluster to run the notebooks. Let's go to the pipeline and check if this has created any compute or not. Okay, so you can see this compute has been created, but this seems failed because there is no quota available. So I think this pipeline also should fail. Yeah, you can see the pipeline has failed because quota was full. You can see operation could not be completed and is result in exceeding approval of quota. And if you click on jobs and pipelines, you can see this job was running. If you open it, you'll be able to see all the outputs, whatever you see here. You can see the creator, you can see the user for which this was running. We are running this using Azure Connection Service Principal which we have created. You'll be able to see all the things here. You'll be able to see the bundle repository URL as well, the compute cluster which we created. If you have any parameters, other things, you can see it from here. If you open the task, you'll be able to see all the tasks which we had configured inside this bundle.yaml here as well. We had provided the task name as test task, type as notebook, source as workspace, and this is the path which we had provided. If you open this folder, you can see this is the src notebook folder we provided here, and this is the folder, this is the path it came here. Okay, and this is the compute cluster, it is coming here. So we selected this compute, but because of some quota issue in my subscription this failed. In your case this will not fail, just it failed because of quota issue. I don't have quotas available in this region. Okay, if you run this in serverless this will run. Okay, if you have if this job is successful, then you should be able to see your notebook output here as well. Okay, let me check once. If you want to run your notebook directly from here, you can do it here as well. If you have some understanding of Databricks, you might be knowing this. already. You can execute directly from here as well. You can create the connection, or if you want to use the serverless, you can use this serverless to run your notebook as well. So from even from pipeline, you can use this serverless to run the notebook. To do that, you will have to modify something in modify in this bundle.yaml, and you can do it as well. Now we have seen how we can deploy the workflow and deploy all the resources in Databricks using Databricks CI/CD and Databricks asset bundles. We have done it everything. We have created the jobs and pipelines. We created the workflow. We deployed our resources inside the shared folder in the workspaces, and we have run the workflow as well, though it failed because of the quota issue while creating the cluster. It will not fail when we run the serverless as compute, which we will be doing in some upcoming videos. Okay, so for now that's it from this video. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.